This is the prep packet video for Unit 3, Chapter 8.2, and we're looking at the first objective, which is adding and subtracting rational expressions with a common denominator. Now, one thing I want you to remember, the words rational expressions is just a fancy way to say fancy for fractions. Now, in this particular case, we are talking about working with rational expressions or fractions with a common denominator. And as we may have talked about before, when we have fractions or rational expressions with common denominators, that means that the denominators are the same and the numerators are different. Oops. You may have heard me talk about this as family fractions. They have the same denominator. We're talking about the same number of parts in the whole. Now, when you are adding these kinds of rational expressions, you're going to leave the denominators alone. So the answer will have 3 down there in the denominator, and you're combining the numerators. So in this case, we have positive 2 plus positive 1. That's going to give us positive 3. And just for the sake of argument, I'd like you to realize that 3 over 3 is the same as 1. If I had another one here where I had 1 over 8 minus, let's say, 7 over 8 minus 2 over 8, again, denominators are staying the same. We're dealing only with the numerators. So here 7 minus 2 is 5. So let's take a look at some practice problems. And again, these are pretty simple. The idea here, we have 2/3 plus 5/3. I'm leaving the numerators or denominators alone, and I'm going to have 2 plus 5, which is 7 over 3. Keep in mind, I'm not going to ask you to break that into a mixed number. You can leave it the way it is. Let's take a look at number 11 over here. Again, take a look. The denominators are exactly the same. They're identical. So basically, you can do this, 4c plus 3, because that's going to be your answer. And then you're just going to look up here. And this is 6c minus parentheses 3c plus 2. And this is something I want you to pay attention to right there and right there. That minus is going to carry over into those two numbers. So you will end up with 6c minus 3c minus a plus is a minus, and still over 4c plus 3. And then you're going to combine your like terms. 6c minus 3c would be 3c minus 2 over here, all over 4c plus 3. Now keep in mind, you can't reduce that any more than it already is. There are no common factors in any of those 4 terms. Okay? So copy that. Stop and copy. Meanwhile, I'll move on. Here again, I have two identical denominators. It's 7a across. So 7a is the answer. Up on top I have 13 minus 6 is 7. Now, for those of you who've been eager to do some canceling, this is your big chance, because this numerator is the same as 7 times 1. It's that silent partner there. And what you get to do now is cancel this out, because 7 over 7 is 1. And that'll give you the actual answer to this problem is 1 over a. Again, we started out with a simple fraction setup, same denominators, handle the numerators. We got 7 over 7a, and then because we had a common factor in the terms, you were able to reduce to that. Okay, let's take a look at this next one. Here we have, again, you notice the same denominator on both sides. And what I think we can do here, let's take a look at stuff, because we like to factor if we can. K squared minus 15. Tempting, but 15 isn't a perfect square. I could do something here with a 6, but I think I'm going to wait. So let's take a look at the next step. So I'm going to write the denominator first. K times K minus 3. And what I have up on top will be K squared minus 15 minus, and be careful again because this minus is going to control everything over here. So minus 12, and then minus a minus is a plus 6K. And I'm going to do some rearranging and give myself a little more room. So I'll have K squared plus 6K minus 15 minus 12 would be minus 27. And again, that's still all over K times K minus 3. We can factor the numerator. Negative 27 would be 3 and 9. So K plus 9 times K minus 3. Start to see something coming up, huh? That's K times K minus 3. These two cancel and make a 1. And that's going to leave me with my final answer, which is K plus 9 over K. And again, remember, I can't factor anything else out, because even though K fits into K, K doesn't fit into 9. So we're just going to leave it like that. Okay, so go ahead and stop and copy, and we'll move on to the next objective.